Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, I've just seen an interview or Michael Benson's Twitter page, and Michael Benson quoted what Tyson Fury said, and I'm a little confused because we're hearing that this fight is getting close, and then Tyson Fury does the interview today that makes you doubt that what's going on here. You know, Tyson Fury basically said, he doesn't believe that Joshua wants to fight. He says that I don't believe Joshua wants to fight me because he knows he's going to lose. He likes the fact of being a professional boxer, and he knows once I'm done with him, he's no longer going to be able to call himself that. I don't know. Tyson Fury is a funny character. But then on the other hand, Tyson Fury, I believe in the same interview, said that I've not been active enough, and I'm not prepared well for a super fight of this magnitude because I've not fought for a while, and being out the ring is not for that long is not great preparation for this super fight. He's right. That is true. But he had the opportunity to fight in December against Ajit Kabayel. Even though, like I said, Ajit Kabayel wouldn't have been a credible, Fury would have beaten him comfortably. Still, you know, it keeps you active. You know, if he fights in June against Joshua, that's almost a year and a half out of the ring. That's too long. That's too long for a guy that's, you know, heavyweight champion. He should be active. He should be fighting regular. And 1.5 years. You know, a lot of fighters are like that you know, Canelo's an exception, fighting 3-4 times. You know, he's probably going to fight 5 times in the space of a year. But there's not many fighters doing that. They fight once every 2 years, once 1.5 years. Look at Spence. Like I mentioned, Spence, he fought in December against Danny Garcia, and we're not even hearing about any other fight news right now. We're not even hearing about him negotiating another fight. And it's December, January, we're nearly at the end of Feb now, right? We're not even hearing about negotiation of him negotiating another fight. I just think he's too inactive. Look, Canelo fought in December, near the end of December, and he's already fighting in February. Then he's going to fight again in May. I guarantee you Spence won't fight. Spence won't fight a fight before May. And Canelo will probably have 2 fights before Spence fights his next fight, which is, again, testament to how great Canelo is, and the fact that he's pleasing the fans. That's why so many fans around the world. That's why he's one of the biggest stars in world boxing, and why fans love him, because he fights regular. We get to see him fight regular. In going back to the Fury Joshua situation, yeah, I don't understand. It's like you hear that interview, and it's like we think that the fight's close, it's almost done, but then you hear Tyson Fury's interview, and it's like 2 steps back. I don't quite understand. Fury, sometimes he can contradict. Like in that interview, I felt he contradicted himself. He kind of saying, well, Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight me. He knows he'll lose. But then at the same time, he's saying that I don't think I've had great preparation for a fight of that magnitude, for a super fight like that. So he's kind of saying that he probably needs a warm-up fight before that fight. But then at the same time, he's saying Joshua, who fought in December, doesn't want the fight, or he doesn't want to fight because, listen, I've said openly, I think Fury wins that fight. That doesn't mean that Joshua can't win. I just think Fury's the better, more complete fighter. He's more versatile. A lot of people on YouTube message me or comment on the comment section saying, no, Joshua's going to win. It's my opinion. I just think Fury's more versatile. I think Fury's got the better boxing skills. I think Fury's got all the physical advantages, taller, got the longer reach. All of those things are going to play in his favor in the fight. But, you know, sometimes Tyson Fury does say things that make you think, well, what's going on in his head? You know, because Joshua to me isn't scared of Tyson Fury. Joshua wants to fight. Now, I don't believe Joshua thinks he will lose to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury seems to feel that he thinks that. Joshua definitely, in my opinion, feels he'll beat Tyson Fury. That doesn't necessarily mean he will. That's just his belief. I don't think for 1 minute Anthony Joshua thinks he's going to lose. I don't think he doesn't really come across that kind of person. I think he's the kind of guy that likes to test himself against the best, likes to take the challenge. I think he's got a lot of stick about the Wilder situation, and Fury's used that Wilder situation to say he never wanted the Wilder fight. And I think Joshua wanted the Wilder fight, to be honest with you. I don't think Joshua's the type of guy to duck anybody. If you look at his resume, he's always fought tough competition back to back to back. When I say tough competition, I don't really think the heavyweight division is very stacked. So the guys that he fought and beat weren't exactly killers, but they were the top heavyweights, you know, in the top 5, top 10, you know, that he's fought back to back. And you have to give him respect for that. Now, I do feel that he hasn't fought the best. I don't think he's fought Tyson Fury, who I believe is the best heavyweight right now. I don't think he's fought Deontay Wilder, who I think is one of the best. And also, I think Usyk, although he hasn't proven himself yet at heavyweight, I do think he's one of the best as well. Tyson Fury has fought one of them in Wilder and beat him convincingly. So, for me, just because of Fury beating Klitschko and Fury beating Wilder, for me, Fury has fought at the top level more than Joshua. However, Joshua's got a thicker resume. He's fought better fighters consistently, whereas Tyson Fury's kind of he's fought the top fighters, but his resume below that is quite thin. You know, how many fighters has Tyson Fury fought in the top 10, apart from obviously Klitschko and Wilder, who were in the top 10 at the time? Apart from that, if you look at all the other guys that he's fought, none of them are in the top 10. So I think Joshua, however, has fought a lot of guys within the top 10 and beaten a lot of guys within the top 10. So you got to give him respect for that. But again, I feel like because he hasn't fought the other top guys, I feel like his resume is incomplete, and that's why I said that this fight between Fury and Joshua is legacy defining for both of them, because whoever wins, because Joshua's got such a thick resume, if he beats Tyson Fury, you have to say that, wow, what a career, what a resume, right? If Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua, you have to say, wow, he's beaten all the best heavyweights around this era. So you have to give him respect for that. Even if he sails off into the sunset, yeah, you'd say I still wouldn't put him up there with like Holmes and Ali and all of the greatest like that, but you'd have to say he's one of the top heavyweights. But because his resume is probably not as thick as some of the other great heavyweights of the past, he probably still won't be as great as them, just because their resumes are a lot better. Their resumes are deep. It's not just 2 or 3 guys, it's deep. You know, look at Ali's resume, it's unbelievable. It's not 1 or 2 guys. You're talking about 6 to 10 top guys that Ali's got in the ring with, whereas Tyson Fury's fought 3, or when he fights Joshua. So I feel like Tyson Fury still has got a bit more work to do. Even if he beats Joshua, I would love to see Tyson Fury fight. I think he beats all of them, by the way. In my personal opinion, I think he beats Ruiz, Usyk. But I would love to see Tyson Fury do what AJ's done and fight these guys back to back. I feel like Tyson thinks that, well, I'm beating the best. Why do I need to fight like Ruiz and Parker and all these? Why do I need to fight these type of fighters when I'm beating the best? I think it's more about conquering your era, like Vladimir Klitschko did. He beat everyone in around his era. Yeah, you know, I would say Fury and Joshua were from a different generation. But in around his era, through his prime, he beat everyone, right? And I think Fury should do the same. And listen, Joshua, for me, Joshua's going to do that because Joshua's already doing that. Joshua's already beating all of the top, guys in the top 10. That's why I say that if Joshua beats Tyson Fury, you'd have to say he would go down a great heavyweight because his resume is so thick. And then if he beats one of the top guys in their prime, like a Fury, you have to give him respect for that. Listen, I think Joshua's obviously beaten Vladimir Klitschko as well, but Vladimir Klitschko was inactive. He had already come off a loss against Tyson Fury, so I think Fury's win was a lot more impressive just because of the fact that Klitschko was undefeated for so long and Fury went to his backyard and beat him. I know people say, well, Joshua knocked him out. Yeah, fair enough, but Joshua at that point was a huge star. He was fighting in front of his own people. He had a lot of advantages where Fury had none. So for me, Fury's performance was impressive, and Klitschko was undefeated for 10 years. So, you know, let's take that into consideration. But anyway, I just think that fight's such a big fight, and it's legacy defining. Like I said in my video, today, I think it's legacy defining. But it does make you worry when you hear Tyson Fury make some comments like he's done today, that he doesn't feel that Joshua wants to fight because he knows he'll lose. I don't know whether it's just Tyson Fury trying to get into Anthony Joshua's head, which he will do a lot, because I think Tyson Fury feels that there's mental fragility in AJ, and I think he feels he can get into his head. I feel he feels he can get into his head. And Tyson Fury can get into anyone's head. Like, you know, the press conferences between these two is going to be great. It's going to be great to see both these guys in the press conferences, because Fury will try to unsettle Anthony Joshua. He will. And he gets to a lot of people as well. I felt like he got to Wilder. I felt like he got to Klitschko. And now people know, like Joshua knows when he's talking all this smack, he knows he's not just a joker. He knows that he's a great fighter, Fury. Whereas I think Wilder and Klitschko looked at him as like a joke. They ended up paying the price, because Tyson Fury's no joke. He's a legitimate top level heavyweight. And for me, he's the best heavyweight. You know, if I was to predict what happens in a Fury Joshua, for me, Fury wins. And like I said, I'm speaking from a non-biased point of view. Like, I don't have any horse in the race. I don't like Fury or I dislike AJ. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on who I think wins the fight. Looking at their careers, looking at their skill set, looking at what I've seen in fights, I just think Fury is going to beat him. That's just my personal opinion. I've broke down why I think he wins in previous videos, but I'm just a little bit confused with Tyson Fury's comments. I don't know whether he's just saying these things for the camera or whether he genuinely means it. But I just don't see why AJ wouldn't want to fight. Why wouldn't he want 100 million why wouldn't he want to fight Tyson Fury for 100 million? Why would he turn that down? Even if he loses against Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury says he likes the fact of being a professional boxer, but he knows after he fights me, he no longer will, but he'll make 100 million. He won't need to fight again. He won't need to be, he's financially secure. He's financially secure now. But a fight with Tyson Fury is only gonna secure him for life. He never has to go anywhere near a boxing ring again if he doesn't want to. So why wouldn't you want to take that fight? Like, I don't feel any fighter would be scared of any other fighter, especially when you know you're getting 100 million, right? No chance AJ is going to be scared of Tyson Fury. And I don't think AJ also feels he'll lose to Tyson Fury. I think he genuinely thinks he'll win. I think he genuinely believes he'll win. But sometimes Tyson Fury's comments, like, they confuse you. Because you never hear AJ say that, oh, Tyson Fury don't want the fight, or Tyson Fury's ducking, or you never hear him kind of come out with statements like that. And yesterday AJ came out and said the fight is heading in the right direction. It looks like the fight's going to be finalized. I've had a good discussion. Everything's going in the right direction. And then Tyson Fury comes out today and says these things, and it makes you think, what's going on here? Is the fight going to happen? And like, I don't know. I just find it like, it's kind of like teasing the fans. We want to know we obviously want this fight finalized. It looks like it could be close to finalized. But then when you hear Tyson Fury talk about, he's not prepared for a fight of this magnitude and the super fight, then you hear him say, Joshua doesn't want the fight because he knows he's going to lose. It just makes you think that, hopefully everything's nearly ironed out. That's what we're being told by everybody, by Joshua, Hearn, Bob Arum. They're all saying that the fight's very close. It's close to being ironed out. So why is Tyson Fury saying what he's saying? I don't get it. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All the things that I mentioned. Leave your thoughts. And guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.